to be honest, he's not as active, and not yet. Especially the Fundora that we've seen against Keith Thurman, that's the Fundora that we've been waiting for.
I'm with Tim, though.
If
Boots is what I think he can be, he's got to clean these guys up at 54. There's nothing at 54 that's like, oh my God. That's like, for example, when Shane Mosley moved up to welterweight, Oscar De La Hoya in his prime is standing there. There's no one like that at 54. The only guy who has a chance to be like that is Boots. Boots is like, in a way, to me, a version of Zab Judah in the sense that he is so physically talented. He's faster than everyone. He hits harder than everyone. He wants to smoke. But he has certain vulnerabilities underneath the surface level, and you want to know how deep is his bag if the going gets rough against another super fighter, right?
Do people forget that it was just last year, early in that last year, that Vergil beat Madrimov and the way he did, and the skills that he showed, a Madrimov who almost beat Crawford, you know, and then Vergil goes out and does what he did with Madrimov. I think not only Timothy, but a lot of people might have forgot that already. And then he goes and dominates second round.
Robert Garcia has made his position very clear, explaining that Vergil Ortiz Jr. is not looking for an easy opponent before taking on Boots Ennis. According to Garcia, Ortiz wants a major statement victory that can prove he belongs at the highest level and establish him as one of the division's most dangerous fighters.
You know, it's one thing that makes me think Ennis does win that fight, even though Ortiz right now on paper is the favorite. He's been at 54 and all. When you look at how Madrimov's awkwardness and his movement in that fight made it hard for Ortiz to get off until later in the fight. Ennis can implement the same things, but actually be hitting him while he's doing it. So
come on, Naeem, what do you say?
Nah, I said, what you think of? I said, what you think about Boots? He sent me the yawn emoji. I said, how?
Hey, he only goes right or left.
I said, how? And then of course he moved up to 54. Vergil gonna take him out. I said, I don't see it, but okay.
Good fight.
It's a good fight.
Great.
Garcia believes Ortiz possesses enough punching power to potentially stop Boots Ennis if the two eventually meet. Tim Bradley, however, sees the matchup completely differently and is strongly backing Boots to dominate the fight. Bradley believes Ennis has the skills and overall ability to control the contest from beginning to end.
Joe is able to, fight Boots, and we were able to get those punches. I think it's over. I think Vergil is not going to hold back. Vergil has great, insane power at 154. So I think Vergil will finish it.
Sergio Mora believes the Ortiz versus Ennis matchup is simply too important not to happen. He expects Ortiz to come out aggressively and try to establish pressure early, while Ennis would likely rely on his reach, accuracy, movement, and ability to fight from different distances to take control as the rounds progress.
I mean, with the Ortiz, you may see a completely different guy, especially if he gets touched.
Man, he gonna cook Ortiz. He gonna cook Ortiz just like he just got done cooking Zayas. Look, man.
But that was expected, though.
Listen to me.
You're talking about Zayas as a guy that isn't known for his punching power at all. That was
or his speed, or really his skills. He checks boxes at a decent level, but not at an elite level.
But the thing is that he didn't feel the pop. You got to understand that about Boots. Boots is willing to take yours to get his, and it's a trap, right? A lot of his flows, but I'm just telling you that I know it's not always a good thing. But it works for him, and I think that he fights off of feeling. That's what it is.
Chris Mannix praised the way Ortiz's team is preparing for a potential Ennis fight, saying they appear to be training as if the matchup is already locked in. In his view, the anticipation surrounding these two fighters has grown so much that the eventual showdown has become far too important for boxing to ignore.
Someone that I admire. I mean, we've been praising this kid since the beginning, a knockout puncher, but Ortiz gets hit too. He gets rocked. He gets controversially knocked down as well. He would deny it, but the truth is there. We could see, we have eyes. Boots is the same way. This is the type of fight with Boots and Ortiz. If when it happens. One of the biggest fights in boxing against two power punchers that are susceptibly defensively because they're so front foot. They go for the knockout. When you have knockout punchers, you're bound to get touched. The difference is Boots rolls with the shots. He takes a little bit of the steam off the shots. He knows how to use his long frame and still dig to the body. Vergil, on the other hand, he'll get up after getting dropped, shake his head, and put it in another gear, in a meaner gear.
Tim Bradley's prediction has received a strong response from Robert Garcia, who believes Bradley may be overlooking some of Ortiz's biggest strengths. Garcia points specifically to Ortiz's relentless pressure, aggression, and dangerous punching power as weapons that could create serious problems for Boots. Garcia believes those qualities could expose weaknesses in Ennis and make the fight much more difficult than Bradley expects. If Ortiz is able to maintain his pressure and force Boots into uncomfortable exchanges, Garcia believes the entire complexion of the matchup could change.
Run into shots, especially if you're buzzed. So when it does happen, hold on. It's going to be explosive. Someone's going to get knocked out. And I always pick a side, right, Mannix? I always say, oh, well, this guy's going to be the favorite. That's a legitimate 50-50 fight.
All right. Then should it happen next? Because in the days that followed that fight, we have heard from Oscar De La Hoya calling for Boots versus Vergil next. We have heard from Vergil calling for Boots against Vergil next. We have heard from Rick Meridian calling for Boots against Vergil next. Pretty much everybody that's in the orbit of Vergil Ortiz, including Vergil Ortiz, Robert Garcia, add him to that mix. The trainer of Vergil says, let's make that fight next. Everybody on Vergil's side seems like they're ready to.
Sebastian Fundora expects Vergil Ortiz to get his opportunity against Boots before Fundora receives his own chance. Fundora is firmly siding with Ortiz and believes the fighter has the tools necessary to make the matchup extremely competitive. He pointed to weaknesses Ennis displayed against Xander Zayas and believes Ortiz could take advantage of similar openings. With constant pressure, disciplined combinations, and a high work rate, Fundora believes Ortiz could control the pace and potentially do enough to win the fight.
I think he sees that, I don't know, maybe.
Look, Bradley's a former world champion, a great person. He knows how to speak well. He's done commentary on fights for ESPN, so he's got experience on everything. Maybe it's just favoritism. Maybe it's just something to do with being, having a favorite fighter. It could be that. I don't know. Look, I'm not saying he's, I can't say, because we don't know. You're wrong, or get in a fight with Timothy Bradley, because I'm not gonna do that. He's a friend and a good person, but I think the opposite. I totally think the opposite. I think Vergil.
All of these potential matchups have strengthened the argument that 154 pounds has become one of the most competitive divisions in boxing. Tim Bradley considers the weight class one of the sport's best because there are so many high-level fights that can realistically be made. The Inside the Ring panel also sees Ortiz as one of the toughest possible challenges for Boots. Bradley pointed to Jermall Charlo's return as another sign that the division is continuing to attract attention and develop into an increasingly important part of boxing.
Do people forget that it was just early last year, that Vergil beat Madrimov and the way he did, and the skills that he showed? The skills that he showed, a Madrimov who almost beat Crawford, and then Vergil goes out and does what he did with Madrimov. I think not only Timothy, but a lot of people might have forgot that already. And then he goes and dominates the second round knocker, Lubin. Man, it hasn't been not even a year since Vergil's last fight. And it seems like they already forgot his last couple of performances, man. Those were the two of his best performances against Madrid.
While Boots continues to receive significant praise from fighters and analysts, Robert Garcia believes there are still weaknesses that opponents can target. After studying Ennis's latest performance, Garcia says he noticed openings that Vergil Ortiz could potentially exploit. Garcia believes those weaknesses could become extremely important if the two eventually share the ring. If Ortiz can identify those openings and consistently attack them, Garcia believes he could produce the kind of statement victory that would completely change the balance of power in the division.
Saw some flaws from Boots with the last fight. I mean, he looked great. He looked great. I mean, he beat Zayas. I mean, pretty easy. But that third round still raises some questions, right? I mean, it raised everybody some questions. How does he do with pressure? Vergil is a pressure fighter, and he hits hard. I consider myself also a pressure fighter who throws a lot of punches and hits hard. So we'll see what happens when he fights one of us. I mean, I guess Vergil's first. So we'll see what happens with that, but I favor Vergil.
Well, actually, man, your deepest thoughts about them as opponents for yourself than each other.
Oh yeah. I'll beat them both. It's as simple as I'll beat them both. I think those are great fights. You know, great fights. Again, being on the zone, all of us.
Garcia remains extremely confident that Ortiz is capable of taking advantage of what he considers Ennis's weaknesses. Ortiz's team is reportedly focused not only on improving his physical condition, but also on making sure he is mentally prepared for the biggest challenge of his career. That confidence has led Garcia to make a bold prediction. He believes that if the matchup becomes reality, Ortiz will stop Boots Ennis and secure the biggest victory of his career, potentially establishing himself as one of the division's leading stars.
You see his determination? Did you see it the other night? You saw his determination and will? Vergil Ortiz, what is he at? That determination and that will?
And Vergil's a little twitchy, too, for a guy with power.
Yeah.
And aggression.
And
he got a lot of heart.
Fendora, the same thing, man. I feel like 54 is the best division in boxing.
I agree.
They have the hottest fights in boxing based upon just determination, will to win.
And the matchups.
You got to kill these dudes to win.
And then
really? You didn't have to kill Xander to win?
No, I'm talking about you got to. I'm talking about Boots.
So now you're talking about. So now you're down to 3 guys that you're saying that about.
And then on top of that, you got Charlo coming in the mix.
And
He's still not there.
And I like.
Here's the problem.
I like Charlo.
Here's the problem with Jermel.
Although the Ortiz versus Ennis matchup is still waiting to materialize, Boots continues to build his reputation as one of boxing's biggest emerging names. Eddie Hearn believes Ennis's latest performance showed exactly why he deserves to be considered part of the sport's new elite. Hearn praised the relentless pace Boots brings from the opening bell and rejected the idea that one moment of vulnerability should define the entire performance. In his view, Ennis showed enough quality and aggression to prove that he remains one of the most exciting fighters in the division.